edition of ABQ Sports Crew. It is good to be back with you. We haven't seen you guys in a long time. So welcome back to the ABQ Sports Crew studios. I am Joshua Creel. On my left is, or right, sorry. You're their left.
I'm trying to figure out what you're going with. Welcome back, guys, to a very, very special show this week. I'm Adam, and to my right, I have
Elijah.
That went smoothly.
That was probably the worst introduction we've ever had in the history of this show.
Most likely. Anyway, guys, like we said, we're back. We haven't been back. We haven't been on since about 2-3 weeks ago, but we're actually glad to be back. Sorry, making a minor adjustment here. There you go. So, first of all, we want to say thank you to you all. We have hit the 100 subscribers mark. So thank you to all of you guys. We kind of had to give you guys a little push for the subscribers. We're giving away a free jersey tonight. Someone tonight is going home with a NFL jersey. We will be giving away towards the end of the show. So in order to find out who's going to win, you have to keep watching us, and that's the point, right? We want all our viewers to watch us.
We have to bribe you somehow.
Guys, that is a big milestone, though. 100 subscribers. You guys did it. Thank you so much. We reached out via, Instagram, Facebook, all of that. You guys spread the words, and we went from kind of almost half that in the last few months all the way up to 100. You got it done, and so you get your Sam Darnold jersey. Well, I guess any jersey you'd pick, but obviously it'll probably be Darnold. But anyone you choose.
That would be the cheapest one to buy from the rack.
That one could be found at Goodwill. So we will be doing that for you guys. But anyway, we got a lot to talk about, guys. Since we've been gone, so much has happened. Preseason football has started for those of you that actually watch preseason football. What did you do? Cut that down. So another thing that we will be discussing, there's been a lot of Antonio Brown issues with the Raiders. He got denied again for his helmet that he wants to wear. And then, guys, we woke up, or some of us woke up, to a big shocker of news, and that was Andrew Luck announcing that he is retiring.
Which we thought was a joke. By the way, we have Sadal from the Platform Talk Show. He says, yo, congrats, thank you so much. They have an excellent show. It's the Platform's...
Platform on Wednesday nights.
Wednesday nights, that's it. Make sure you check them out. Great show. It's a lot of fun.
6 p.m. Mountain Time, guys.
But make sure y'all stay tuned. We will have the raffle at the end of the show. But, I've got to paint the picture real quick. Josh and I, my wife, Jennifer, we actually went on a little camping trip this weekend. And we're getting signal. We're coming back into town. And we get a text from Elijah that's like, yo. And it's like, it's Andrew Luck retiring. And I swear we thought it was a joke. I didn't believe it.
Thought that was like a prank pulled by you.
I think I just said TF question mark.
You absolutely did. Absolutely did.
Well, because you would think, why would he retire? I mean, he's young. He's picked
good
to be one of the top NFL players, but now in his press conference he announced that the injuries are just a little bit of a concern for him, and it hasn't made football fun for him over the last couple years, and he's been fighting that. So, best of luck to him.
Are we getting into this now? Because I've got to.
Yes, we'll start because we have to talk. This is our NFL roundup. We'll be discussing everything that's been happening. We got to talk Andrew Luck first. I mean, it's the biggest news that's happened other than Antonio Brown.
So this is my issue. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, hey, why were you booing him? Why'd you say this? Why'd you say that? And they're kind of coming to his aid now and having his back. What a crap way to go out. What a way to set your team up for failure. I know these aren't fresh injuries. He didn't just get injured this last week and say, hey, I had a setback or whatever's going on. He's had these neck injuries. He's had shoulder. He's had a little bit of injuries throughout the last several years. So, yes, this is a valid concern, especially we don't know the extent of it. It could be life-threatening. Could be just affecting the rest of his life. I get it's taking the joy out of the game. That's the Jake Plummer symptom. That's the Calvin Johnson symptom to a degree. I get losing the joy of the game, but you don't do that to a playoff team who some had Super Bowl hopes for a couple weeks, 2 weeks before the regular season. That's a terrible way to go out. You knew this was coming. You knew you were debating this, and now you set them up, and what they have to pay out like $20-some million to him.
I think they made an agreement for $50 million or something like that.
It was unreal. But what a way to screw your team. Boo on you, Andrew Luck.
And it wasn't even an agreement. They just let him keep the money that he's made so far. And I'm okay with them keeping the money because they probably should have invested that money in an offensive line anyway, and then we probably wouldn't be having this discussion. I'm going to actually disagree with Nish. I think as time comes out, we're actually going to figure out what happened because I think, I agree in a sense that he probably knew early on, but something had to have happened in the last week or so where he just said, "Screw it, I can't handle this anymore."
He's been fighting shoulder injury, right? Is what he's.
I
been,
don't think he was even slated to start week 1.
No,
so
they were trying to. They were saying they were pushing.
I wouldn't be surprised if he talked to his doctor and they just said, this is going to be an ongoing thing, and he's just probably like, I'm tired of this already. I'm tired. Like he said, it was, what do you say? It's like injury, pain, come back, injury, pain, and basically he's just saying that he's in pain all the time. And he's like, this is not worth it anymore. That I'm playing in pain. My offensive line is garbage, right? So we know he's going to get sacked 1,000 times. Luckily, he's a bigger dude. But he's just, he's tired, man.
I get that. I'm just saying the timing of it all. I'm not fighting the reasoning. That is a huge reason why people retire. Like Sidal said in the comments, this generation's Barry Sanders. It's a huge shock. Everyone's shocked. I get that. I get the reasoning behind it. He has a family. He has a life after. They're saying he'd make a phenomenal coach somewhere, which I completely agree with. He's a genius football mind. The timing is just what doesn't make sense. And I agree with you in the sense that you're saying, if something comes out where we're like, hey, he was battling this and he had hit this setback and there was all this going on, we don't have those facts right now. If it comes down to the fact that he's had these injuries and he just wasn't enjoying the game, and we find out that was it, that's the end of the story, and he just bailed 2 weeks before the season.
Would you rather have him do it now than what Buffalo happened to them?
That's not going to happen. I get before the season, but come on now. You've got a team that won a playoff game. Did any of us not have the Colts winning their division?
I have our stats right here. We all picked the Colts to win
the
division.
We can redo that, right?
Right now it's a toss-up. You got Tennessee, you have the Jags, you have Houston, and it's
a sorry
tough.
division.
Somebody
South is going to be crap.
Well, and you know what's going to happen because of that? A team is going to get a waste into the playoffs. It's going to be like the Bills from years ago. A team is going to make the playoffs, be one and done and out, and everybody's going to know. But a crap team is going to get a bye week. Is what's going to happen. Thank you for that intake there, Josh.
That's the way. That's the way the cookie crumbles, huh, Josh? I don't know if
they're not going to get it. They're not going to get a bye week. They'll get a home game. They'll get a home game first round. Now looking at the AFC South, who do you take?
Sidal said he had the Colts. Now, at this point, I'll go back to my take.
Houston.
Houston, I'm saying, is going to be the worst team in that division. Argue with me all you want. They had the hardest schedule this year. They had the weakest last year.
Does it go to Jacksonville?
Tennessee, I'm saying, will take that division now.
Houston.
Okay.
Josh is thinking about Blake Bortles and
the
Jags.
I love me some
Nick
DeAndre
Foles
Hopkins.
The Jags now.
DeAndre Hopkins and the truth.
I'm
the best.
I might have to go with. I had Houston finishing second, so I'm gonna have to finish. Say Houston's gonna finish second place.
I'm gonna seem like such a guru when they end with 4 wins this year.
What was my Colts record?
You were 10-6.
Can I switch that to 6-10?
You're giving them 6 with Jacoby?
They're not in a very good division.
Granted, in that division, I could see that. 6-10 is not a bad score for them.
So, does anybody know who the Colts' third-string quarterback is, just in case Jacoby doesn't make it?
You know what we were talking about earlier? I was going to mention that.
Tebow?
This would be, and it's all controversial. I don't care which side you fall on when it comes to Kaepernick. This is a perfect opportunity to get him back in the league. For the simple fact that one of two things is going to happen. He's either going to light it up, kill it, come out slinging, and show that he could play all along and prove millions of people wrong and come out and just lay the wood out there, or he's going to come out and he's going to get out of here. He's going to come out and he's going to fail miserably, and we can be done with that whole controversy and that conversation. So we can. This is a perfect opportunity.
You know what happened though?
What about Johnny Football?
Johnny Manziel? No. He couldn't even make it in the Canadian League.
He couldn't make it in the Canadian League.
But Jordan Roderick says Colts win the Super Bowl, so that's a take. Lil Nishi says Tennessee is such a hit and miss team, either 10-6 or 6-10. 10-6 is going to be good enough to win that division now, though.
Yeah. See, my pick on I'm going to talk about what you just did about Kaepernick. If he does sign with the Colts, out of just miracle here, and he fails, he'll blame that the Colts didn't have the system that he was playing, that he's made for to run the ball.
Well, but he's not going to make it. He's not going to be the Colts. So let's pick a different. I don't like hypotheticals.
We're playing in the hype.
All right.
We got a lot that went on this.
So now let's move on to another topic that's been hitting the NFL.
And Jordan says Texans win the division.
And that is Antonio Brown. Guys, ever since
he hasn't done anything. He hasn't had any controversy.
Ever since he's arrived in Oakland, it's been nothing but frostbite on his toes. His helmet, that he can't play with these new helmets because he can't see.
It was cryogenic. Sorry, Jen says, how do you get frostbite in Oakland? Cryogenic therapy. He wore improper shoes while getting cryogenic therapy and got frostbite Frostbite. And this is after he flew in. You know what the best comment I saw? He flew in to opening day of training camp on a hot air balloon into Oakland just to say, hey, I'm here. And the best comment I saw, clowns love balloons. It was just spot on. Just a joke. Antonio, what are you doing? And the way to depict it and the way that he's losing his team already, that he's playing with his team, they put their helmets on, he walked away. Just bailed on his new team.
I mean, we were all kind of on I'm glad Antonio Brown's kind of sticking to his guns and you need to pay the guy and kind of the whole nine when he was fighting with Pittsburgh. And then now that he's been in Oakland, I don't know if anybody has his back anymore. It's kind of the point where it's like, dude, I'm tired of hearing this guy complain because you're complaining about a stupid helmet? Like, you're one of the best receivers in the league. You lost in arbitration, which is the purpose of arbitration. Twice. And now you're just like, okay, now I'm not going to. Like, first he's like, all right, I'm getting back into this and let's do it. And then he's like, okay, now I'm still mad about the helmet. I mean, he's just a diva, and it's getting to the point where you're just kind of tired of hearing about him already.
Well,
and you're tired of hearing
they
about him.
talked to everybody. They were saying Tom Brady, when they changed helmets, he was like, man, that sucks. He went and learned. He went and played with a new helmet.
I mean, the comment there.
You mean Goat Brady?
Yeah, and Antonio definition with the textbook diva. Absolutely, like, just come on now, dude. Just get over yourself. And what's funny is he's playing like, hey, I won't play. I'll be done with football. I was like, dude, you ain't walking away from 30 months. Get out of here with that nonsense.
Oakland won't give him the money if he walks away from the game.
No, Oakland is such a bad team in itself already. I mean, I know he was supposed to be the guy that is supposed to spark something there in Oakland, but maybe they're better off without him.
Without him?
Without him.
Oh, I was like, hey, sue me up. I'll wear any helmet. Let's do this.
But the helmet that he was wearing was called like a Shut Revolution. It was supposed to like protect the back of his head from being hit and stuff like that. And it doesn't press down. I guess a lot of players were saying that a lot of the helmets press down on their forehead.
Like Peyton Manning?
Yeah. But the way he's playing now is proof that his old helmet wasn't working, because there's something wrong up there. Something got dinged. You got it on the screen now, by the way. If any of you want to give us your hot take, give us a call, 505-250-9318. We'd love to hear from you. But come on, Antonio Brown, what are you doing? You got to get it. Come on, man.
He is an avid listener to our show, so that's what we're asking you, Antonio.
I know you're listening, Antonio. He's like, maybe it's our fault. We got to own a little bit of this.
Come on, man.
But
I'm just tired of
And
hearing
then
about
what was
him.
that with the whole he had painted his old helmet? He had his Steelers helmet. He did a real crap paint job of the Raiders on the helmet and tried to wear it to practice and got busted. Like, dude.
Next.
Dude's got millions and he can't.
And that's after his. Did you see the video with his introduction to his quarterback car? They're all like, "Hey man, hey brother, hey man, we're gonna play. Hey." It was just cringeworthy. The most awkward
thing. Did he
thing.
bleach his mustache during the offseason? Next. Let's talk about someone else.
Get out of here, bro.
More time on our 100 subscriber show.
How about what's going down in Dallas? Ezekiel Elliott.
Well, they had the report.
Offered.
They had the report that he was offered. Nothing, no acceptance yet. No really confirmation if it was a report, but that'd make him the second highest running back next to Gurley, I believe, would be the top one. Yeah. Over Le'Veon Smell. I hope, I don't know why I'm throwing a dig at him for no reason. I hope it's the case. I think, again, out of all the people we have, Zeke is, you have to pay the guy. We had a big contract extension for Jalen Smith, which is really good because I think he's really good in his story, going from being injured, sitting out a whole season, now again his paper. Good for him, but I'm hoping that they get this Ezekiel, I think, situated really fast. I mean, he's down in weight, which is really good because that was kind of
still
the concern.
Still looks like an Ewok, though.
That was the concern in the offseason, that he was looking a little pudgy around the midsection. So it's good that he's ready to go. How
about your boy Dak asking for $40 million?
That was supposed to be supposedly is a rumor, right? They said that he wanted $40 million. I think his agent came out and said that was not true. So I trust the agent over the report. I don't think Shefty's the one who broke that news. So I don't know who it was, but we'll see when it comes down. Dak's going to play regardless. Zeke is the one that's holding out right now that we need to get.
All
him
I care about is that he comes to terms before our draft for fantasy. This is why you do not draft for fantasy until the end of August, the beginning of September. How many people already did and have Andrew Luck as their starting quarterback?
Well, Phil, sorry, I was telling you guys the story before. That guy in, I forget, California, drafted Lamar Miller and Andrew Luck. Lamar Miller out with the torn ACL for anybody that hasn't been paying attention. So,
yep,
that's.
And I think Barstool just posted someone who did a $1,000 straight bet on Andrew Luck winning the MVP.
How do you tell your wife that?
I feel like
That's
that if that was like a
You
1 to
don't.
10 odds or 1 to 50 odds, I feel like the odds just like went through the roof.
Yeah, well, that was a 10 to 1 because the payout was 10,000.
Alrighty, guys, that's gonna do it for the NFL breakdown.
Wait a minute. There's time out. There's one that we
you
have
counting?
to touch on. We have to touch on this. There's a quarterback in New York getting a lot of hype right now.
Ooh, Eli, you doing good
Whole
again?
lot of hype right now.
Uh,
He was just this crap quarterback, and he's coming in and he's changing everyone's minds, and he's phenomenal.
Ooh.
He's playing against second and third stringers. If you look, there was a picture that sums this up though, because Eli has earned the right to be respected in the locker room, and there's all these reporters and all these cameras, and they're all around Daniel Jones, and you have Eli just putting on his shoe in the corner. Guys, preseason is preseason. What is it? Is it the Baltimore that's gone like 16-0 in the last several preseason games? Cleveland went 4-0 in preseason when they went 0-16 in the regular season. Nothing means anything. Trevor Siemian for the Jets has looked phenomenal and has like a perfect passer rating in preseason football. He's garbage. He's absolutely terrible.
Oh, zero
Get
quarterback,
off.
right?
He is, and he's.
Man.
I'm saying the
Trash is
Jets
trash,
backup
huh?
is just like
Ooh.
he's lighting it up in preseason. Get out of here with that. Just shut
so,
up.
with Daniel Jones, Baker Mayfield said at the draft, "Why did the Giants waste a draft pick on Daniel Jones?" And then now they're kind of throwing it back in Baker Mayfield's face, saying, "Oh, look at him doing this in preseason."
Oh, is that the Duke dude?
Yeah, it's the Duke guy.
Okay. No, I seriously, when I said who, I have no idea who that was.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now
thought you were being-
Baker Mayfield's like,
You're joking.
you know what? You're kind of
There it is.
balling out now. I kind of take back my words on what you said. Did Baker say that too early?
Baker's Baker. He's
I think they
gonna say
pulled that a
whatever he
bit out of
wants.
context,
Yeah,
though.
I
They
think-
definitely, there was a whole long spiel there, and they pulled that segment.
The media made it seem like Baker just said it like 2 weeks ago.
Technically, we
Yeah.
are the media, though.
But we don't spread
There's
nasty
not going to be
rumors.
no Browns-Giants rivalry anytime soon, so it doesn't.
Well, Jordan says Daniel Jones is already better than Darnold. That's Let me update because I know we're touching NFC. Let's update that Bears ranking real quick. And Greg says, Greg Nash says Darnold who? Haha. And then Sadal says Daniel who. Thank you so much for that.
Sadal.
All right, we can close that up. How about next session since I'm already getting roasted?
All right, next session is going to be NFC breakdown. What we do is we already did this for the AFC. We go over what we think the standings will be, who's going to be division winners, and we'll start with the NFC West. Last year's division winner, and they appeared in the Super Bowl, was the Rams. We'll start though first. I know I said the Rams, but the last year's winner was the Rams. So this year we're gonna start with the Cardinals first. Arizona Cardinals getting Kyler Murray as the #1 overall pick. Guys, is the Cardinals for real? I have them at 4-12.
I thought we were just going to go through the whole
Yeah,
division.
yeah.
We ran into this last week.
Okay, so 4-12, 4-12 for the Cardinals.
Okay.
7-9 for the 49ers. 10-6 for the Rams, and the Seahawks at 9-7 for
So
me.
Rams taking division.
Rams taking it again.
Side note, Sadal says Sam Darnold is the best quarterback in the AFC East. Yeah, I said it. He knows it. That is, if you watch, he is like the guru of that show. He just has this intellect about him that I just believe. So how about that? That's phenomenal. Anyways,
You're not getting a jersey for kissing butt.
hey, I like it. I like that smart. So why your standings?
The Rams, I think they made some improvements. They got Clay Matthews now on defense, a linebacker to help them out.
Is that
Not
an
the
improvement?
greatest pickup,
Is
but
that an improvement?
but they still have the same players. Cooper Kupp is coming back healthy now.
That is true.
I think this is a good team, and I think they have what it takes to make it back to an NFC Championship or put up a good fight.
Do
for
they
it.
still have Tubby Anderson as their backup?
C.J. Anderson. What's his? Where'd he go? I don't think he's there anymore. I think he's like a.
Didn't he go to Carolina?
No,
Or where'd he
I
go?
don't remember.
Anyways,
Not important.
Yeah.
I like that overall for your rankings.
7-9 for the Niners because Garoppolo looks like garbage,
Preseason.
but he's always been garbage.
But if you're garbage in preseason, if you're good in preseason, then who cares? If you're garbage in preseason.
Oh, I'm gonna have some stats ready for next
All
week.
right, Adam, who do you got?
All right, we're gonna start out with the Rams going 12-4. They were able to make the Super Bowl while being extremely depleted when they were losing Cooper Kupp, when they were losing high-end receivers, playmakers like that. They were still competing just off their scheme. I feel like that scheme was figured out a little bit in the Super Bowl, obviously, but that is a solid team through and through with the best player in football on their defense. On the defensive line, so that's a phenomenal team that is going to get the job done. Probably one of the best in the NFC right now. Followed up by the 49ers. Granted, it's a dip off. I have them at 9-7. I don't have them making the playoffs. but they're definitely better than anybody else in that division below them. They are on the rise. They are getting better. After that, you have the Seahawks, just because they have Russell Wilson. He's a playmaker, but he doesn't have enough tools around him. They're ranking that defense real high when it's not. That's an older defense. It's an aging defense. They've got some talent, but it's not good enough to go better than 8-8. And then the Cardinals are going to have some growing pains with their new quarterback. They're going to come up short with their new quarterback. I don't know if you get this. Winning's going to be a tall order for their new quarterback. They're going to go 4-12 with old Kyler Murray.
Adam? I could personally.
I love it. I was waiting for that.
I can personally control your microphone now. We have the switchboard to do this now. So
Sidal says Rams have the best wide receiver core in the NFL. Seriously, no, I agree with that.
I totally agree.
Greg says Rams will get to the playoffs, but no Super Bowl this year. Maybe. Des says ha 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 ha. And then Greg says, for once I agree with Adam. Preseason doesn't mean anything. Thank you. No team shows who they really are until they have to.
Okay, way to cut off Elijah there.
Yeah,
all right,
go ahead.
All right, Elijah, who do you got for the NFC West?
12-4, your Los Angeles Rams. Second place, I'm going to have Seattle Seahawks as 9-7. Again, going back to what Nish said, I think they're just a team that kind of scrapes by wins. I think there's going to be a lot of wins that are just going to be scraping by, and also that they have the 2 games against the Cardinals. It's going to help for the win column for them. Next, I'm going to have San Francisco. I think 8-8 is a pretty fair assessment for them. We get to hopefully see a full season with Jimmy G behind center. Hopefully he doesn't get hurt and they can see what that team's all about. There was a lot of hype for them, and then Jimmy G went down last year, which was very unfortunate. And then the Rams, I'm going to have them as 3-13. I'm sorry, not the Rams. The Cardinals as 3-13. A lot of, I guess he's got the growing pains.
They're just not going to measure up.
The growing pains one, yeah. Did you mean the growing pains one?
I think that just happened, but I definitely said you had some big shoes to fill.
I got you.
Alrighty, so the next division, we're moving north. We're going to the NFC North. Bears, Lions, Packers, Vikings.
How about we start with Elijah?
Yeah, let's go with Elijah this time.
Mix it up.
Okay, well, I'm going to get my notes. This
That's exactly what I did. I was like, he's pulled his nose out. He's not ready to get him.
Anyways, there we go. First and foremost, the Packers, I don't even know if I'm going to be having them making the playoffs this year because I am tired of the Packers, right? Yeah. I'm tired of Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to turn this into a little rant now. Aaron Rodgers is not the GOAT. He's not even in top 15 quarterbacks of all time. I don't understand how a guy with 1 Super Bowl win who makes the playoffs kind of every other year, and you can say, oh, he has no talent. Yeah, Brady never has talent, and he still wins Super Bowls. All right, so I'm going to start off by I'm going to say the Bears at 11-5 are going to take their division down. Go Jordan, go the Bears. And then I'm going to have the Packers at 9-7 because they're going to miss the playoffs because they suck, right? They're the Packers, and people think that they're really good, and they suck. And then next I'm going to have the Vikings going 8-8. I don't think there's really any more magic in that city. I mean, who's their quarterback anyway?
Sidal says, Elijah, bruh.
Wait, we're gonna play this back and everyone, when every time Aaron Rodgers loses, it's his team's fault or it's his coach's fault, and every time they win, it's all him. It's I don't understand all the stuff.
Jordan.
Aaron Rodgers. And then Detroit Lions, I'm gonna have them going 5-11, just because they're the Lions. I don't really know what else they can do at this point until they probably have to move on.
They can pay their quarterback even more
eventually, but. Bears are going to take down the division this year. I'm sure Jordan and a lot of Bears fans are going to be excited.
Jordan has them at 19-0 Super Bowl winners.
Don't know about all that. All right,
ahead,
so we'll knock it out of the way real quick. Bears 14-2. I think they are the best team in the NFC right now. Without question, everyone gives a lot of crap to Trubisky. Trubisky is a quarterback like a Flacco when they won the Super Bowl. He's good enough not to lose games for them. He's going to be good enough to get out of his own way because he's smart enough about football. He may not carry the talent that's going to put him over the edge in certain situations, but holy hell, that defense will. They've got the players and... Jordan, 0-16 Jets. You know, the Bears are the most overrated team in the entire NFL. They were just garbage. Anyways, I'm going to disregard that. I'm going to look past that. Anyways, the Bears are the best team in the NFC. Honestly, they are my Super Bowl prediction. I feel like that this is the year they're going to get it done. Vikings go 11-5. That's going to be enough for a wild card spot. I do see them in the playoffs again. Packers 9-7, missing the playoffs. Just kind of there. Just not. I mean, they're still the Packers. They're still good enough to win some games, but they're not going to be in the playoffs. Then you have the Lions at 7-9, just because I like Matthew Stafford as a person, not so much as a quarterback.
All right, so I will agree. I think we're all in agreement that the Bears are going to win this division. I have them at 12-4. Khalil Mack and company are just going to be brutal on that defensive side. Hopefully, they find a kicker that can make it up through the uprights this year, because that's all it was one kick away for possibly going to the Super Bowl. I do agree with Jordan when he talked to me about that.
Right.
So the next one I have is the Vikings. I have the Vikings at 10-6. I think they do have one of the best receivers in the NFL, and it's not Diggs, it's Adam Thielen. I think Adam Thielen is just an absolute.
Did anybody think Diggs from the start?
I know. I was like, well, Diggs.
Well,
that's not that hot.
You didn't have to clarify there.
Diggs is what a couple years ago was the one with the Minnesota Miracle, but Thielen I think is going to be the key to that team. I don't know what happens to that team if, God forbid, that man gets hurt, but Kirk Cousins I think has what it takes to make them into a wild card team. The third place is going to be the Packers at 9-7. They are going to miss the playoffs. They're going to be like Aaron Rodgers chugging that beer. Just didn't drink enough, but sorry, you're going to be done. And the Lions finishing at 5-11. I don't think that they. I love Matthew Stafford. I like what you said. I think he's a great guy, but he just doesn't have the talent around
story.
him.
His wife and him have been through a lot.
They lost Theo Riddick. He's no longer there. So.
Exactly. Let's catch up a bit here on the comments. Packers are overrated from Greg. Packers, bleh. Preach, Elijah, from Desiree.
Thank you.
Adam says, I'm smart. Greg says Adam looks like a ripe tomato. Listen, I got a lot of sun yesterday. Up in the mountains. Did you see these ears? They're like luminescent right now.
You are pretty red. I didn't notice that.
Greg says Adam is so white the room lights are burning him.
What's sad is
I have
on
football.
I have this right in front of me. You guys can't see it.
You can see there's giant lights right on them, and I'm the luminescent one. Anyways.
All right, so we're gonna go down south. We're gonna go to the NFC South, where the Bucks, Falcons, Panthers, and Saints. I'll start it off with this one. The Saints are winning this division at 11-5. Then I have the Falcons at 9-7. I'm gonna go with the Panthers at 7-9 with Miss Diva Cam Newton, and the Bucks at 5-11.
Wait, why is Cam Newton a diva now?
Did you see him dressed like Grandma Cam Newton?
It's fashion, bro.
Yeah, it's called fashion. You should learn.
You ever been to Milan? Obviously not. Yeah, I don't like the way you just see it. I don't know.
Who's worse between him and Westbrook?
Good God, what's he wearing?
They're
like
pretty bad.
Oh my God.
I don't. People are saying
they compete, but like they both. Apparently, like this is high fashion. This is stuff that if you went out
apparently
on
we grab our grandma's old scars and put them around our head, and we're considered in.
I mean, back to football, because they all got their personal choices outside of work, but that's not one I'd make. Cam is an incredible talent that has just been. I'm kind of nervous because he's just gotten more and more fragile throughout the years. He continues to be hurt over and over, and it looks like he is there's a chance he'll miss week 1. We'll see. So I'll run down mine. I've got the Saints at 11-5 and winning the division. I think there's just too much talent on that team. They added a phenomenal tight end. And they've got the best running back threat. I'm not saying from running back position, but running back threat in the league right now with Alvin Kamara. Just an overall solid team. I think they get it done. They make a run in the playoffs. Falcons do make it into the wild card. I think at 10-6. I think they're a solid enough team. I think they're going to be all right. A lot of people are counting them out already. I think ATL is going to represent a little bit. Panthers 9-7. I don't see them getting it done. I don't see Cam Newton staying healthy, and McCaffrey's not enough to do it on his own. And then the old Bucks at 8-8. Just until you show me something, I'm not going to believe in you.
Whoa! Time out. You have literally one game difference between all these teams.
They dropped. Yeah, I noticed that when I was writing it out. 11-5, 10-6, 9-7, 8-8. Just because it's a team it's a division there is talent. But
not Tampa Bay though.
Tampa
Sorry,
Bay's
Nikki, if you're watching.
I mean, Tampa Bay isn't. If you look at it, and granted, we're talking with the old Amish rifle Ryan Fitzpatrick when he was there. He actually lit it up a little bit
for the first 4 games.
They're not a terrible team. They're really not. If you look from a position standpoint, they're not terrible. They're just not enough to be a playoff team yet.
Literally, yours is going to come down to the last 2 weeks on who's going to win that division.
Yeah, in that division, that's the only division I have like that. But I feel like it's a division that's going to compete with each other very well.
We'll see.
Well, I think the Saints are going to be the only team advancing to the playoffs in this division. They're going to be going 12-4. Saints are Saints. I think Drew Brees is going to have another MVP type. He's going to be in the running. I don't know if he's going to make the MVP. That's probably him or Andrew Luck. Going to win it this year, but 12-4 for the Saints. Then I'm going to have the Atlanta Falcons going 8-8. because it's just the Falcons. I feel like their years are kind of done now. That loss in the Super Bowl, I mean, come on, Falcons ain't gonna win anything. Nobody's afraid of the Falcons. Then I'm gonna have the Panthers going 7-9. I would love for the Panthers to be good, but they're probably not going to be good. But I do think Christian McCaffrey's going to have a big year. He had a pretty good year
Great
last
fantasy
year.
pick.
He doesn't get you a lot of points regardless if they're good or they're bad. And then the Bucks, I'm going to have them going 6-10. Poor Bucks. I don't really know. Yeah, where's Nicky? Yeah, I don't know what you expect for that team, but that's just that's pretty rough.
So you lived in Charlotte, right?
I did.
The Cowboys are going over there first, aren't they, this year? Or was that last season?
That was last season.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that, though, by the way? You just moved away from Charlotte.
I was not very happy when they announced week 1 was hosting the Dallas Cowboys.
What's the hype around Carolina? Is there a lot of Carolina fans in the city of Charlotte? Like, is this something that they always talk about? Like, we're going to the Super Bowl? Like, is it, or is it just, we need to be a playoff team?
When I was there, I think it was more of a playoff team. They wanted Cam to be healthy.
Because you moved there shortly after Super Bowl loss.
Right after the losses when I moved there. And so they always kind of have hope, but they're also kind of very realistic. So after week 2 or 3, they're just like, I just hope that we can get some wins at this point.
Sadella says, the question is, are the Saints fans through crying about the call from last year? #crybabies. You know what I was thinking would be the greatest thing is if on the very first game, the Saints throw the new pass interference challenge flag and they lose the challenge. How amazing would that be? That would be just the most incredible justice there. And Greg says, Tampa is a disjointed mess. There's talent in the team, but they don't know how to utilize them. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's talent there. It's just not put together. And it could be front office, could be coaching staff. Who knows? It's just not. They're not over the board yet.
But going back to the question, no, I don't think. I think the fans are going to still be complaining about that. Hey, Dez caught it, right? We're still complaining about that many years later. So you keep complaining, Saints fans, because
they were voted one of the most annoying. Now they were not even in the conversation. Now they're bumped up there with Patriot Cowboy fans of being one of the most annoying because of this. Because right after the game, there was even on the highway signs saying we got screwed. Like.
Roger Goodell got indicted, didn't he, to go to court? They were trying to sue the NFL over it.
Yeah.
Like, come on now, and especially with the fact. Now, here's one thing.
So if we had let me ask you real quick. Sorry, to cut you off. If we had the review challenge last year, would they have won?
Obviously, it was pass interference.
Yeah, that was 100% pass interference.
But it's done. It's over with.
But
we want to go back. Would Brady be Brady if the whole Tuck rule didn't happen?
But look what good has come from it. Now we can challenge it. If that didn't happen last year, we probably wouldn't have that rule this year. Some good stuff came from it.
And I'm actually good. It's growing on me, the challenge, because at the end of the day, everyone's like, oh, you're going to slow game, you can challenge this, when's it stop? No, you have 2 challenges per game. And I don't care. What if they made every penalty challengeable? Who cares? You have 2. As long as they stick to 2 challenges per game, you didn't slow anything
When do
up.
you throw it, though? You don't want to be nitpicky, though. Are we going to see these more towards the end of the game?
You'll see it on the last play. So. Someone throws up a Hail Mary and they don't catch it. You'll see the flag come out.
You're going to see a lot of those on Hail Marys.
Oh, wait. No, you can't challenge within the final 2 minutes.
Yeah, it has to be a booth review. So we're going to probably see this in the final, like from 4 minutes to 2 minutes when, games are crucial and stuff like that.
But remember, it's going to have to be obvious, right? It's going to have to be enough to overturn it.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm a baseball fan, so I don't really care if they make.
But does this ruin the game though, and the watching experience for a fan? You're sitting there and it's like, man, another one of these reviews.
I think it's something that you'll see enforced kind of differently for the first few weeks. If you look at this last season, the whole leading with the head or whatever, like the aggressive, like all of these little nitpicky penalty or rule changes that go into play during the offseason, they call it heavy in preseason, and you think it's going to be this big old deal, and by week 2 we've forgotten about it. It's a non-issue. So I don't think so. For the
until it changes the game one time. Until it changes one game. Then
but what would it have done for the Saints? Granted, yes, it's over, it's done, shut the hell up, leave it in the past. But going forward, if something was that obvious, come on now. I get the reasoning.
Dez caught it.
And Saints do have the right to be pissed. Like that's what Jordan said. I'd be pissed too if I say like if the Jets were ever in that situation. No, the Jets will never be in that situation. They won't make it that far. But if they were, oh man, I'd have that. Like a dartboard with that referee's face on it, like in my room right now. I'd be salty as hell. But you've got to let it go. You've got a chance at making a run this year. Stop living in the past.
Dez caught it.
All right. Speaking of Dez caught it, we're going to be talking about the division that he used to play in. We're going to be talking now to the NFC East. This one was tough for me. I'm going to start off with Elijah, though. I'm going to save mine for last. But we all know who he has winning this division. So
I have the Cowboys winning at 11-5. What do you mean what? That's not that bold of a prediction. 11-5, Cowboys winning the division. Then I have the Eagles going 9-7. Right? Is that the math
Yep.
there? There we go. 9-7. And then I have both the Giants and Redskins going 4-12. I don't think they're going to be. It's going to be a 2-horse race to see, and I think only one team from this division is going to make it to the playoffs, and it's going to be whoever wins the division. There's not going to be any wild card team. The only quarterback that's worse than Dak Prescott is Carson Wentz when it comes to the overrated factor.
Oops.
So that's why the Cowboys will be the NFC East champs this year. And we got Travis Frederick back. This is just giving you some Cowboy knowledge here. He's been our All-Pro lineman who was out last year with the what did he have? He had some weird autoimmune disease that it's like 1 in 100,000. So he was out all season. So we'll have our full line again. If we can get this deal with Zeke, if the thing with Zeke doesn't go through, that's going to be an issue, regardless of how good.
I want to hear where you think they end up if you don't get Zeke.
If we don't get Zeke, I think we'll be the old 8-8. I think if we don't get Zeke, but I can't imagine Zeke holding out the whole thing. It just doesn't make sense. But having a full season with Amari, I think having Wynn there is going to be nice because I don't think he's going to get a ton of playing time. But I think having that veteran presence in the locker room, which is what we need somebody to fire up the team and to calm the team down in certain situations. That's what's going to be nice having Jason Witten there.
Okay, so I gotta stop you for a second, because you said the Cowboys are the only one going from that division, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You also said that the Saints are the only one going in that division. You also said the Bears are the only ones going in that division.
You're starting to do math on us.
And then, so technically,
there's no wild cards.
Who do you have as your wild card? Is it the Seahawks or is it the Niners? Or I mean, not the Niners. Is it the Packers? It's going to be either one of those.
Okay, not the Packers. I'll just say the Seahawks. Don't do math on me. What's the matter with you?
Because your division winners are Cowboys, Saints.
Okay, then we'll say
Bears and Rams. So who are your two wild cards?
So we'll say We'll say Seahawks and Philly then.
Not Bambi friendly.
Oh no.
Yeah, you said a non-Bambi word, sir.
I said a bad word?
Oh no. Moving on.
I said shoe, man.
Anyways, and by the way, you know what? We didn't put it on the agenda, but before I forget, we're going to try to be calling in this week to the Platform Sports Talk Show, talking a little football with them. Remember, they go live Wednesday evenings. Now they are I want to say much more educated on sports in general. They talk everything from wrestling to, if it's athletic, they cover it, and they cover it in depth and intelligently. So make sure you check them out. And we're going to have them calling at some point as well. We'll be linking up with them, so make sure you check them out. But when it comes to the old NFC East, Elijah, I'm sorry, but come on, that's a weak division this year. Cowboys 11-5, going to the playoffs as the division winner. I'll give you that much. What's scary, and you know, I would say that, and this is why I asked that. I have them winning that division with or without Zeke. I feel like he is a solid presence. He is the third best running back in the NFL right now, in my opinion. I feel like it goes. You've got Kamara, Saquon, and then him. But that is a good enough team that they are going to the playoffs and they're going to win that division regardless. Eagles 9-7 for the simple fact that until Carson Wentz stays healthy, I don't believe he's going to stay healthy. I don't think he's overrated. He's an excellent quarterback. His knee rehabilitated great, but until he stays healthy, who knows? After that, not great at all. The team who recently had Mark Sanchez on the roster, the Redskins, are going to go 5-11. Nothing doing there. And Giants, one of the worst teams in football at 3-13. They just don't have talent on that team right now. All their talent has been traded away. They're gone. They're injured. They're starting fresh. And I do think that old Daniel Jones does see the field. Who knows if he's good or not? I'm just saying you can't count preseason.
Last year, the NFC East came down to the Eagles and the Cowboys, right? You both were 9-7. I'm going to stick with that this year. I think it's going to be the last game of the year gets whoever wins that division. I'm giving it to you guys, though. I'm giving it to the Cowboys winning that division at 9-7. The Eagles also at 9-7. Like I said, it's going to come down to the last game of the year. I think you guys are going to get the season sweep of them. And that's what puts you guys ahead of them for the playoff position. I have the Giants at 4-12. And like you guys have been saying, there's just really nothing to talk about.
It's really not.
Nothing exciting except for Saquon Barkley to talk about in New York. But he cannot be the workhorse that gets the ball every play. So,
sorry, Washington. Go watch old Bryce Harper.
The Redskins, unfortunately, they're aiming towards Case Keenum as their starting quarterback over their rookie, who is very upset that he didn't get drafted by New York. So I have them at 3-13.
Yeah, just trash.
So NFC Championship. Before we move on, who's it going to be?
The NFC Championship is obviously going to be the Bears.
Bears, Cowboys.
I'm gonna say Bears Rams.
Bears Rams. I'm definitely gonna say, and that'd be a hell of a game. Bears and Rams. I'd give the nod as of right now. I'd give the nod to the Bears. I have the Bears winning the Super Bowl.
So I have the Patriots going from the AFC. That's gonna be Pat's.
They'd be lucky to make the playoffs with that team out of New York.
Pat's Bears in the Super Bowl for me.
Bears.
You had KC in New England.
So KC and the Bears in the Super Bowl.
Elijah, you had KC New England as well. No, sorry. I read it.
I didn't have New England. There's no way.
You both had the Chargers. Sorry, Chargers and Chiefs.
Yeah, Chargers and Chiefs. I was gonna say, there's no way I gave Pats that much credit. Even though, tell me this: how does Josh Gordon get suspended and he's out for a year everywhere else? He gets suspended for doing the same freaking thing at New England, and suddenly it's swept under the rug. He's back on the team. Get out of here! Yeah, it's freaking Patriots and their ways.
So who?
Chiefs, Bears.
Chiefs, Bears. Okay, you guys heard it here first.
When you win a trash division, it doesn't make you great. Just shows that you are salvageable. So the Patriots are salvageable, is what he's saying, I guess. I don't know.
All right, so that breaks it down. We're going to review this at the end of the football season, see who is the football guru. Because remember, when season starts, we are bringing back our old friend, the quarter. Because last year it smoked all of us.
Butts.
It smoked all of us last year.
And if you guys don't remember, we flip a coin. The quarter picks the home team or the away team. They pick the winner of that game. Then we try to intelligently pick. And that quarter beats the hell out of us every single year. I don't understand it, but it does. And don't forget, we got that jersey giveaway coming up. But I think we got a little segment before then.
We got a game.
Summer Temption.
We got some, we brought back 5-second rule because we want to make sure that you guys are quick on your feet.
And we were camping and didn't have time to come up with another game.
I don't remember what 5-second rule is.
You got 5 seconds to respond with 3 answers.
Oh, this is one that doesn't make
so
mathematical sense.
I know, it's such a bad game, but it'll work.
The answer is the United States of America. That takes up 4 seconds, just that answer alone.
All right. Since you won last time, there's category 1, 2, and 3. I won't tell you what it is until you pick.
I'll go number. I'll go number 2.
Wait, how are we supposed to have a chance of beating each other if there's only 3 segments?
That's a good question.
Because that's what we did last time. There was only 3.
I don't
Just
know
in case you guys are tied at 1,
yeah,
you have to have a tiebreaker.
Okay, I got you. That works.
I'll go number
Plus,
2.
we go off points on how many you got right. So here we go with number. You picked Elijah went.
Is this one that I got to say the first and last name or any of that stuff, even though it's a 5-second rule and there's not enough time to say both names?
As long as we understand who you're trying to say.
Yeah,
I'll
that
just go
makes
with
sense.
that.
All right, you pick category number 2, which is top 3 NFL MVP winners. You got to give me who's won the most NFL season MVPs. Ready, set, go.
Peyton, Montana, and that one guy. Brady.
Nope, didn't get it in time. Sorry, sir. Peyton Manning is your only point. Oh, sits.
Is our set falling down?
Who are the top ones?
If you would have said Jim Brown, Johnny Unitas, you said Tom Brady, but it wasn't. These Johnny Unitas, Tom Brady, and Brett Favre were all tied.
That's so awesome. Greg says my game show record is 2-50. I haven't won 2 yet.
Yeah.
Come on now.
So if you would have said, you got Peyton Manning. So if you would have said Jim Brown, Johnny Unitas, Tom Brady, or Brett Favre, you would have gotten them.
I'll say Favre.
So
Brady. Yeah.
Get out of here with that. Boo. I need all the help I can get.
I didn't see a clock.
I
want to recount.
So Adam, you got category. Elijah's with 1 point right now. You got category 1 or 3.
3.
This is most NCAA football championships.
Okay.
All right, ready, set, go.
Alabama, Clemson, Georgia.
You only got 1.
Alabama, obviously.
That's Alabama. The others, Yale and Princeton.
What?
Who the hell would have got those?
That's why.
Since when are Ivy League schools smart and good at
Back
sports?
in the 30s and 40s and 50s, those schools.
Tom Shady. No, Sedall's my boy. I'll tell you what.
Alrighty.
So how are we going to do this then?
Yeah, exactly. So he just gets a chance at an extra point?
No.
Yeah.
So now we.
I get the
This
only
is
category.
some like New
No.
England style rules going on.
I got another one just in case this happened. Okay, I got another category.
Just in case.
Just in case.
The 3 categories wasn't
Because
enough
I thought you
people.
guys were going to be smarter than this, but.
All right.
All right, so Elijah, we're going to add a 4th category into this. So you got number 1 or 4.
Since 4 was probably last minute, it's probably easier. So I'm
That's exactly what I was
I'm
thinking.
gonna say 4.
Number 4. You got to give me 3 universities whose nicknamed the Wildcats. Ready,
Oh, come
set,
on.
go.
Arizona, Washington State. I don't know, the Wildcats.
Nope.
Kentucky.
Oh,
Plus 1 for Elijah. He got Kentucky was the other one, and Kansas State was the other
I
one.
said Washington State.
All right, so Elijah with 2 points. Adam, you need 2 points to win.
That's a
Just-
lot.
just 2 points.
Do you have 5 and 6 lined up ready to go?
No.
we
might
can
have
just
a
go
draw.
to sports trivia.
Yeah, we might have
we
a
do
sports
not have a
trivia.
draw.
All
We have
right,
time.
Adam, you need 2 points to win. Okay. Your category: top 3 passing yard leaders of all time. Go.
John Elway, Brett Favre, Joe Montana. Did I get all 3?
No.
Did I get any?
You got 1.
No. Elway?
We have a tie.
Elway or Favre?
You said Peyton Manning. Or no. Wait.
What?
No, you said Favre.
I said Favre.
Yeah,
Elway didn't.
Drew
Elway's
Brees
in
and
there?
Peyton Manning.
Oh, because Drew Brees just passed, huh?
I did not say Peyton Manning.
Just do your sports trivia.
Dang.
Just pick one question.
And pick a random question. First one to answer. We can't have a draw.
How
And
did
I'm
this
doing
happen?
How did you like? I'm actually doing
I
okay.
got
Yeah.
Wildcat and I don't know other obscure ones.
That made me laugh. So Greg said 250. I was like, I haven't won 2. So Jordan's like, you're gonna be 0, 50, and 1. Oh, jeez.
Well, while Josh is looking up that thing, I guess we can talk a little bit
United.
of soccer. New Mexico United got shellacked last night. I believe it was 5-0. I turned it off after 2-0, like a true New Mexico fan.
Right.
Can I finish the
Shit.
scene, please? We got our defender got a red card, straight red, for saying something to the ref that apparently the ref was so thin-skinned that it deserved a straight red. And that was pretty much the game. They scored 2 goals right after that, and then we went to halftime, and then they scored 3. What really bothers me is when we played against LA Galaxy 2, we also played against a 10-man team and didn't really do anything. That's what you're supposed to do against a 10-man team, is score 5 goals against them,
2-2 against
not to pretty much do nothing against them. I think we're starting to get to the point where you're starting to see more and more criticisms of the team, where people, because we've been losing a lot lately. I think the biggest one is, for me personally, I've been saying it for a few weeks now, I don't understand why Devin Sandoval is
thank
starting.
you.
I think he needs to come off the bench because he is really unproductive. And don't give me the soccer knowledge of his job is to make space. He's like a Josie Altidore. It doesn't work that way. He makes space, but there's been plenty of games. Now I'm thinking of the one that happened before this one. I don't remember the team. It was Austin, I think. And I mean, he had 3 opportunities in the box and was not able to connect. I don't care if you're a defender. You get 3 opportunities in the box, you need to defend. And I think the other criticisms kind of going to the team is I think Troy Lesesne just needs to get some discipline with this team. Kevon Frater, I think, leads the league in not only goals but also yellow cards. He's a forward. Forwards are not supposed to get yellow cards on an everyday basis because he's a hothead. And I don't know, there's a lot of stuff going on right now, and I think people are starting to get a little bit frustrated because we do have a good team, but we're just playing really bad right now.
Notice one player missing on that starting lineup yesterday. That was Chris Weehan.
And did we have an explanation for that? I mean, you can't tell me because he missed the PK. He's still one of our best players
Absolutely.
playing at the moment. So why he was starting again? There's been a lot of things. You talked earlier about I forgot which player it was when he missed a few games. It was
Manny Padilla.
Manny Padilla, and Lesesne said, "Oh, it's disciplinary thing." I mean, what's going on? Why are we disciplining people? Not telling? I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on in the team. It's really
That's one thing about Troy Lesesne and the United front office is
Keep it in-house.
they always are about it.
Yeah.
Even we had I do a podcast for the United called We Are Seek and Strike, and man, we had one of their front office guys in the show. He would not give us anything about what happened to Manny Padilla. They are hush-hush about everything. So.
And Zadal says, St. Louis is joining y'all MLS, believe in 2022. I wish that's super cool for St. Louis. We're not MLS, we are USL. So just a baby brother to that. But it's been huge.
They have a USL too.
For the folks not from here, New Mexico United has been huge for this community. We're getting, 15,000, 16,000 people selling out every single game. It's top of the league for attendance. people are rallying around it, and it's great. But the frustration is setting in. We're seeing those growing pains. We're seeing a lot of things. We were riding so much hype, and that we were winning constantly, and now we're just kind of stuttering, and kind of on the decline a bit, and just kind of figuring it out.
And when you get pounded 5-0, that's
This is the second time we've allowed 5 goals. Las Vegas Lights was the other one. All right, so time to break this tiebreaker.
All right, let's do
All right,
this.
listen to the question in full before you shout out your name. Okay? First one to shout out their name and get it right will win. Everyone knows that Hall of Fame great Michael Jordan played his college ball at North Carolina, but playing for the Tar Heels wasn't his first choice. In fact, he actually rooted for North Carolina State while growing up. Who did his airness originally want to play for?
Elijah.
Adam?
Elijah? Okay.
Duke.
No, I'm sorry,
Adam?
sir.
Kentucky?
No. Sorry, Jesus. The answer, Michael Jordan's first choice was to play at UCLA.
Can we call it a draw?
The Bruins never... Okay, I got one more and then we'll call it quits.
All right.
Do I have to wait till the question's over on this one?
Yes.
Oh, God.
In 1990, 2 Major League greats made baseball history by becoming the first father-son duo to hit back-to-back homers in a Major League Baseball game. You must be able to name the father-son duo.
Elijah.
Yes.
King Griffey Sr., King Griffey Jr.
Yes, Elijah wins! Congratulations, Elijah. You are the winner. Once again, Adam's sitting there with like a dog between his tail between his legs.
I'd like to thank all those who believed in me.
Jeez.
I believe
able
in
to get it,
giving, so I give out wins.
Able to do it good. For my winning, I would just like to say, let's bring Sandoval off the bench. Enough of giving him the starting nod because
Hey, we went into
he has not produced in like 4 months. I don't know what. I don't know when's the last time he scored a goal. Was it opening weekend? I don't really know at this point. But
Jordan says 0-51. That's nice. Hey, I took it to extra innings.
Well, Elijah,
is it that time?
Elijah, you won.
Yep.
So it's time to have one of our viewers win. What are we giving away?
A helmet.
The New York Jets? I mean,
No. We're giving away a NFL jersey to one lucky fan. We have quite a few names in here.
as long as you turned your name to public in the drawing, then you were set to go. You were good for the drawing
I
today.
set a post earlier, so if you didn't get your name in,
Thank you so much, you guys, for getting us to 100 subscribers. It's you guys turned out. It was cool.
Do they have to be present for this show?
I don't think so.
No.
We'll reach out to you.
we'll reach out to the best.
We're not gonna do you like that. But if we can't get a hold of you,
How do we do this?
After 24 hours, if we can't get a hold of them, it goes to the next in line.
Yep, 24-hour rule. So if we call you and you're getting random numbers and you're ignoring them, then you're missing out on your jersey. So answer your
That's fair.
your phones.
All right.
oh, let's
Who wants the honors of pulling this name? Jen?
Here goes, producer Jen. Let's get it on camera. It's gotta be here. There you go. All right, who wins the NFL jersey? This will be your YouTube name.
Congratulations, Steven Martinez.
All right,
Steven Martinez.
yay.
You
get-
are winning yourself an NFL jersey. Steven, make sure that you contact the ABQ Sports Crew. I'll try and find you on our page and message you as well. But congratulations, buddy.
Is
You
that,
were
good
going
choice.
on.
is that Steve? Atlanta Falcons Steve?
I think it might be
my
Atlanta-
brother's friend. Oh, he's a Falcons
Get
fan.
all Matty Ice or something.
Yeah, you can get a jersey to miss the playoffs this year, so perfect for them.
So maybe you can have your brother contact if that's the one where I don't know. There's
We'll look online. We'll get
We'll
you
look
in,
online.
But congratulations, guys. This is not the last giveaway we're going to do. When we hit 150, when we hit 200, we'll do little things here and there, and we always like interacting with you and doing
Tell
comments.
your friends so you can subscribe.
I forgot to bring it in here. John, we have your Patriots
prize
prize
pack
pack
from the last show.
from last show. I need your address, so if you want to message us, that way I can ship it to you tomorrow. We got him cool little things. He's getting himself a nice lanyard. He's getting himself a car decal. And he's
How do you
getting-
feel picking up
Who's
Patriots
this?
stuff?
John, do we know his last name or is he listening?
John watching?
Cornella.
Cornella, yeah.
Oh.
He usually watches. He hasn't commented in today, so.
Come
but
on,
yeah,
Johnny.
we got you guys. You got something for your vehicle, like that way you can show off your Patriot pride.
Pride for Patriots. You got it. Never mind. We'll leave that
Alrighty,
alone.
guys. Well,
My dog.
it is that time of the show where we bring out the final headlines. What we do is we bring about one topic that we want to talk about, something in sports that you may have missed, or just something that came to our attention that we think was big news. We're gonna start Elijah while Elijah looks for his.
Well, I was going to bring up something about the PGA Tour that happened.
Yeah, did you just look at my notes?
Go ahead, you can do yours first.
Thank you. Jeez, come on now. So good guy, you threw me off so bad. 15 million winnings for old Rory McIlroy. Gets the job done. Absolutely killed it. So I mean, it's always good and bad when you see that win because it means the golf season is getting towards the end. We still have a little bit left, some tournaments, but congratulations to you. That's huge. It's one of the biggest wins in sports, one of the hardest things to do, and a healthy purse at that. So congrats to was he Irish?
Yeah.
Something like Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
Or is he from Wales? One of the Great Britain places.
Alrighty, so I'm gonna go with this one. I am back. I'm glad that college football is back. I watched some highlights of yesterday's game between the University of Florida and Miami University. It's just good that college football is back, and they're already talking about Clemson already repeating because Trevor Lawrence is just an amazing quarterback, and he's just a sophomore. It's going to be interesting to see Alabama and also Oklahoma as Jalen Hurts transferred from Alabama to Oklahoma. I want to see how he does. We saw yesterday how a show that I watched called QB1 Under the Lights, there was a guy named Tate Martell that played for the University of Miami who transferred from Ohio State. Didn't get the job done. Unfortunately, the Gators were just a little bit better. But hey, college football is back, guys, especially next week. It's kicking off in full gear. Here locally, the Lobos got a team called Sam Houston State.
We'll see.
And then my Boise State Broncos going to the Florida State Seminoles to take on.
Florida should have lost that game.
So Boise State, Florida State next weekend.
I'm really still not prepared for this, but I will say since we're going to things starting off, soccer season, I should say, not MLS. MLS kind of plays in a different time, but all the other big leagues, Premier League, La Liga, the French League, everything started up this last week, and that's exciting for me. A big Barcelona fan, although they lost their first game, which was very sad. They did win today. Chelsea got shellacked their first game. I'm paying attention to them this year. I've told you all, Christian Pulisic, sorry, I'm having trouble there, is for Chelsea, right? That's Captain America. They seem to really love him there in England, and we're hoping that he does really, really well, because he represents our country. They finally got their first win. They were kind of starting to get a little antsy for Frank Lampard's first season. But yeah, just watching all the leagues, boo Real Madrid, Jordan, and anyone else who likes Real Madrid.
So, question for you: how do you feel about the Griezmann and Messi situation? Rumor has it that both of those guys are butting heads in the locker room.
I haven't heard anything about that, but I mean, Messi hasn't even played yet because he's been injured. Griezmann had his first goals for Barcelona today. I think it's going to be really well. I think we've got to figure out who's going to be playing what, because again, with Messi, when Messi comes in, the whole dynamic changes. That's why they lost their first game. You just like when Ronaldo's not in, you got to figure out what's going on. Griezmann, I think, is a great addition for the team, and they're going to pick it up. They're going to win La Liga this year, and if anyone wants to say otherwise, then they're just crazy. There's no reason. That's
the only one that would comment right now is probably Jordan. But guys, that's going to wrap it up for us here at the ABQ Sports Crew. Just a program note: we will not be on the air the next 2 weeks. Of course, Labor Day weekend is next weekend. Adam's going to be celebrating his birthday and on vacation in Mexico, NFL Week 1, so unfortunately he will not be here. But we'll be back full swing Week 2 of the NFL season, so make sure that
we'll be back to weekly at that point. We'll have all the breakdowns, the quarter. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun season,
So
guys.
remember, we're not on the next 2 weeks. We'll be back in 3 weeks. As for myself, I'm Josh Carrillo. Got Adam Nash and Elijah Esquivel. You guys take care of yourselves. Have a great Labor Day weekend, and we'll see you guys in 3 weeks. Take care, everybody.
Somos unidos.